Hey guys, our devotion today comes from Genesis chapter 31. We're looking at the second half here, Jacob's escape from Laban. Before we look at that, remember to be in prayer for our church family. Today, we want to be in prayer for Gerald and Melissa and little Eliana Black. And tomorrow, we're praying for Philip and Anna Brooks. So we're just continuing on in this family drama, this saga that's going on here. Things get messier and messier. Of course, we've seen how Jacob has been living with Laban over the last few chapters, and Laban has been taking advantage of him, or trying to, but God has been protecting Jacob, giving him success, blessing him. And it's come to this point where Jacob decides it's time to get out, and God speaks to him, and I need you to go back to your home country, and decides to flee in the night, or flee when Jacob is gone, not in the night, but take off secretly. And Laban ends up finding out and pursuing him, and they have this argument. Laban just stands out to me here. He's just has this this manipulation in his speech. He's trying to emotionally manipulate Jacob, and says, "Why would you run away? I could have done this. We could have ended things peacefully if you would have told me that you were leaving. We could have had a party. I could have hugged all my grandkids." He's full of it. I mean, we get this sense here that he's just trying to manipulate Jacob. God has spoken to him that he's not to do harm to Jacob. But he's still going to get in, a few of his little emotional jabs here at Jacob. It's just classic. So, I mean, this is sort of just family drama here with Jacob dealing with his in-law. It's just a mess. Jacob, for his part, he comes back at Laban, and he has his own complaints against Laban. I think what stands out to me particularly about Jacob and his response. I know that his motives aren't always pure, and we can argue about whether or not he should have stole away the way he did. But in the end, he says, if it wasn't for God taking care of me, you would have sent me away with nothing. You would have taken complete and total advantage of me. And I would have lived and served you all these years, and you would have sent me away empty-handed. And I think I at least see a hint there that Jacob trusts in the Lord, and I think, we can't get around having these sort of interpersonal conflicts, especially like the ones we see here in our family, with our friendships. When we read the New Testament, though, it tells us that we're to love our enemies and put others before ourselves. And sometimes people are going to hurt us. One of the things, though, I think Scripture tells us, though, is that we don't always have to defend ourselves. We don't always have to get ours. We don't always have to make other people hurt in order to protect ourselves. We can trust that God is able to take care of us even when others are trying to do us wrong. We can depend on Him. And that frees us up in order to be living sacrifices, to be wronged and still show love to our enemy, and to trust in God to take care of us and give us what we need. I think our natural response, though, is in the midst of those things to try to take care of ourselves and not be had and not be manipulated, and to fight for ourselves. We don't have to do that. God is able to fight for us. He calls us to live sacrificially, to love those who want to hurt us and do wrong. And when we do that, we're preaching the gospel to them, because that's exactly what God did. We were hurting Him. We were doing Him wrong, and He didn't fight back. He allowed Himself to be killed. He didn't defend Himself. He laid down His life. So when we live that way towards other people, I think we're preaching the gospel to them. everything we read here about what goes on with Jacob and Laban, I mean, are either of them completely in the right? No. I mean, there's so many examples here of what not to do. I mean, even when it comes down to this altar that they set up, this altar is just an altar of division among them, where it's a testimony that you go about your business and God will keep an eye on you and I'll stay over here, and we don't have to have any more contact. I think just what I see in here is a reminder that God is in our personal relationships. He's in this mess sometimes. And if we understand that, we understand God can take care of us and protect us, first and foremost, we can seek just to honor Him in our relationships. And, let ourselves be taken advantage of sometimes, if that's what it means to show God's love to other people. And know, my God is able to take care of me. Speak truth to ourselves. Come back to the truth, the promises that we are sure of. God bless you guys. If God spoke something to you today, share it with us on Facebook. Let's